Let me just start off by saying the prosciutto bread at Faico's, still dynamite. The roast pork, broccoli rabe, and provolone, still dynamite. The sweet Italian sub, still dynamite. But I have a complaint. Right out of the gate here on January 31st. And my complaint is there is absolutely no reason at all for the President of the United States of America to be in New York City to discuss a Hudson River project in the middle of the day and have the entire West Side Highway shut down, closed from 40th Street to the Battery Tunnel. Plus, all residual roads and side roads shut down today. I went from 54th and 10th down here to Tribeca in 2.5 hours today. It is absurd, and that's why I don't vote. That and I'm not allowed to. But outside of that, it's like you're sitting there like, you've got to be effing kidding me.
It was brutal, man.
Right?
Yeah, no, I dealt with it. It took me 2.5 hours to get to
I
work.
was supposed to enjoy a lunch with Stu Feiner and the Barstool guys over at Chelsea Bowling today at 11:30. Couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Because from 40th Street down, the roads are shut down. Like, come on. What are we doing? Like, do we really need the President of the United States of America? I don't care politics. I don't care who the man or woman one day is. To come here to bless a Hudson River project? No.
Or just go to the east side and go to the UN where it doesn't faze us.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, screw those people on the east side.
Screw them.
I got to be honest. The people that live on the east side are the kinds of people that complain about the color of the Empire State Building. All right, listen, we got a lot to do today. As we get ready and move an inch closer and closer and closer to the Super Bowl and the quarterback carousel now really starts taking center stage, right? From a Derek Carr standpoint, they're going to make a decision on Derek Carr here by February 15th. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, they are clearly going to cut him. The Raiders are. If they don't cut him, I'll tell you why. If the Raiders don't cut him, his entire salary this year is guaranteed, and $7.5 million of next year, 2 years from now, would be guaranteed.
But if you're gonna trade him, and there's gonna be a market for him, there's gonna be a market for any quarterback.
No doubt, yeah.
Because teams are desperate for quarterbacks, and Derek Carr's not half bad.
Yeah.
You always have that tool of restructuring a deal to make it more palpable for you. So the Raiders, why would they get nothing for Derek Carr when they can clearly get something?
Yeah, it's just because I think, to an extent, and I agree with you as we've discussed in the past, the salary cap's kind of a fugazi, rubbery number, right?
I agree with you.
And you can make it work. There's teams that are over the cap right now, which you're not supposed to be, right? It seems like if they're moving on from him, and clearly they are, they benched him for the last 2 games and Stidham quarterback for them. Whatever their future plans are, I don't know. Maybe they don't even know. It just seems like cut the guy before February 15th for cap purposes on their end. Don't have $40 million sitting there. It also then becomes an issue moving forward with the rest of his salary, and just be done with it.
Yeah, but now when you're
right?
getting first-round picks, that's the upside, and they can get that.
I don't know. You think?
Yes. I think that teams, not just the Jets, but are a lot of teams in this league that need quarterbacks. And Derek Carr, say what you want about him,
I like him.
Is an above-average starting quarterback in this league.
Not just that. He plays every game.
Yes, which is a value.
The guy, as much as we love and we do Lamar Jackson, theoretically, I'll be a great Jet quarterback. He's not playing 17 games.
Why are the Baltimore Ravens, why'd they go home as quickly as they did?
Because they didn't have Lamar Jackson
They
on the
didn't have
field.
Lamar down the stretch, which hurt them from winning the division, and obviously didn't have Lamar Jackson on the field in a postseason game. So you're right. Like, when you're evaluating who you want, I know it's tough to predict the future. Right. Who would have known Daniel Jones was going to go out and play 16 games this year, and it could have been 17? Sometimes you can't predict that, but you need availability, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've thought about this as you have over and over again, and obviously, Aaron Rodgers. I think I like Derek Carr more.
Why?
I get him, I think, for a longer period of time. He's 4 years younger than Aaron.
You should.
Yeah, he's 31.
Yeah.
He plays every single game. Not that Aaron has a history of not being available. I know this year he had the thumb, and there were thoughts that he might come out, for love because the season theoretically was over prior to really being over. But I'm starting to fall in love with Derek Carr.
I'll tell you why you're wrong, and I'll do it in 30 seconds. It won't even be that complicated.
Go.
Close your eyes.
Do I have to really close
I want
them?
you to close your eyes. I want you to envision an AFC championship game at Arrowhead between the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, I'm interested in that. I like that.
Derek Carr is on the field.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is on the field. And we know how good the Jet defense is, but they're dealing with Patty Mahomes.
Sure.
They're dealing with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
You think Derek Carr's winning that game for us?
I think we have a shot.
Really?
I do.
Where do you have a better shot, though?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. I'm not arguing that.
Well, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? It's not about 5 years from now. While I respect that point of view, and I get it, I want to be good in 5 years. Isn't it about how I can win now?
Yeah, listen, now, and if you could have your cake and eat it too, I want to win this year coming up. We have to make the playoffs this year. Anything outside of that, get rid of all of them. I think we're on the same page on that. And also build a team that's sustainable. Obviously, Carr's sustainable for a longer period of time, just based on age and Aaron Rodgers. But I'm telling you, and this seems like a silly thing, maybe it is, and if it is, I'll take ownership of it. I don't think we're going to like Aaron Rodgers.
Why? As a person, as a player, give me more specific.
I think the whole package. Listen, no one's disputing his talent, first ballot Hall of Fame. That's not on the table. He is what he is, one of the great quarterbacks to ever play. Why wouldn't I want that? Because it seems like he's a high maintenance, not one of the guys guy.
Do you think we're going to like Derek Carr?
I think we're going to love Derek Carr.
You think when Derek Carr cries at a press conference?
I think we're going to love it.
We're going to love that?
Yeah.
Not if they just lost. Not if he just threw 3 interceptions.
I think we're going to love it.
Are we?
I think we're going to fall in love with a guy that wears it on his sleeve, loves the game of football, takes losses personally to the point of crying at press conferences. And I think we're all going to play the game of, I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Do you think Derek Carr is capable of beating Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
Whatever two you want to come up with in the postseason and back-to-back weeks?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because
has he
he's
done
a
that?
really, really good quarterback.
Has he done that?
He has not had the success you'd like to see.
You're asking in the AFC, and look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
They're not in the NFC. Right. They're in the AFC.
Sadly.
You're asking, I wish, right? Can we file paperwork?
Maybe flip with the Giants for a couple of years?
I'll flip with you. I'll give up tradition. You got to do it with those guys.
Yeah.
You got to do it with Josh Allen. And say what you want about his season this year. He's elite. You got to do it with Joe Cool. You got to do, and I didn't even mention, Craig, Justin Herbert. I didn't even mention Trevor Lawrence. I didn't even mention those guys. And so where I've kind of moved over into the you just got to go for it is I got to compete with those guys for the next 3 years. Do you really think, as solid as Derek Carr is, and I have great respect for him, but do you really think that you can win that? Do you think that you can come out of the AFC and represent this conference in the Super Bowl with that quarterback versus their quarterbacks?
I have convinced myself that Derek Carr is capable of doing that, and he is my new target. I now believe Tom Brady is going to San Francisco.
San Francisco?
And not Miami.
What happened to Miami?
I thought he was going to Miami all along, but then all of a sudden I find out Brock Purdy's out for 6 months. I don't trust Trey Lance coming back and doing anything because I've never seen him do it. And while he might be great, I don't know that he's going to be great. And for me, I can go get, if I'm San Francisco, I go out there right now. I go get Tom Brady, give up nothing to get him. He becomes a great mentor for Brock Purdy and or Trey Lance, and I have a legitimate shot of winning a Super Bowl next year. So I'm all good with it. And I think there's going to be a lot of fun, and it starts February 15th. At least Derek Carr does. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait.
I think Derek Carr, if I'm not mistaken, and you can fact check me on this, is 1-8 against Patrick Mahomes.
I'll check. I don't know. You may be right. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was 0-3 against Burrow.
Stop it.
Still beat him, didn't he?
It's not the same.
So why is it not the same?
Because
it's an arbitrary record.
It's not arbitrary.
Sure it is.
He shared a division with Patrick. Patrick Mahomes is better by a lot.
Patrick Mahomes has a better team around him, too.
He's also the better quarterback by a lot.
That. Yeah.
By a lot. Not by a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm not asking Derek Carr to be the best quarterback in the league.
No, I'm asking him to compete with Patrick Mahomes.
I think Derek Carr, if we go Mahomes is 1, Burrow's 2, I don't think anyone's going to argue that right now, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
The third best quarterback in the AFC, Derek Carr.
No, he's not.
Derek Carr.
No, he's not.
Jets quarterback, Derek
Josh
Carr.
Allen is now behind Derek Carr.
I'll tell you why.
Justin Herbert is now behind Derek Carr.
That's right.
Are you serious?
Justin Herbert, what's he ever done in the playoffs?
Blowing usually.
Right. He authored the single biggest collapse in third biggest collapse in NFL playoff history. Derek Carr's the guy. That's the guy I want. I'm not wavering on it again.
Derek Carr has started one postseason game. He's 0-1. It's not like he's racked up postseason victories.
He didn't blow a 38-point lead.
No, but he lost to the who they lose to? The Bengals a couple of years, 2 years ago. Yeah. So what?
Yeah. See?
What?
Anyhow, I'm all excited for it. It's like, I know the Giants went to the playoffs all good, and Danny Jones is probably coming back at $20+ million a year. But it's more exciting right now to be a Jet fan, and not because they're as good as the Giants. Well, they're better talent-wise. They didn't have as good a year as the Giants.
And they may not have a coach or a left tackle or a quarterback.
The Giant fan got the run, and I respect it. I'm envious of the run. But right now, from now until Labor Day, not only would I make the argument, I'm making the argument. It's more exciting right now to be a Jet fan because of the what if or who we going to get. I'm excited.
You're right, but here's the problem with the excitement that you just expressed. You're right about everything you said. The excitement of dreaming of a quarterback. Yeah. Even this argument that we're having.
We're in play right now.
Yeah.
I like it.
What if they end up with Ryan Tannehill?
I'm not going to be excited.
But that's my point. Yes,
I don't think they will.
It's exciting that we're getting to talk about all these shiny quarterbacks that could join the Jets. And, can they compete with this guy? Can they compete with that team? But if they don't end up with somebody that we're pleased with, then all that excitement is for naught. All that excitement is what? The Giants are playing defense with this offseason a little bit. What I mean by that is their quarterback is a free agent. Their most dynamic offensive player, Saquon Barkley, is a free agent. It's sort of like what happened with the Mets in the offseason. Yeah. They're playing defense. They had to re-sign a bunch of guys, or if they lost them, they needed to replace them. That's not as exciting as adding, as saying, hey, how can I make myself better? And so right now, we're getting a daydream or debate on quarterbacks. But if they don't end up with Derek Carr, and they don't end up with Aaron Rodgers, and let's say it's Gardner Minshew competing with Zach Wilson, is that exciting,
That's not
Craig?
exciting, but I have faith in Joe Douglas and Woody Johnson and Robert Saleh to go get me a stud. There's Brady, there's Rodgers, there's Carr, there's Lamar. Those are the four guys.
He's not in the same league.
All you got to do is get me one of them guys, and I'll dance an Irish jig on the top of this desk.
Craig, I really like Derek Carr. He's had a real solid career, and you laid out some of the positives. He goes out and he plays every game.
Yep.
He's an under 500 quarterback in his career, and if you want to say that's just the team, okay, fine. Just the team.
Yeah.
Is he on the same level as the other guys you just mentioned? No.
That's an interesting question.
Not since his second year in the league in which he looked, or his third year in the league, in which he looked like an MVP candidate, has he been on that level. He's not. He really isn't. He's the middle tier of quarterbacks. He's a lot better than what the Jets have.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
Is he?
Yeah.
If I made a list right now, I don't think he's a top 10. I think he's probably on the edge of it.
I think you'd have to put him in there. By the way, I want to thank the Empire State Building for sending me these Eagle Green candies today. Appreciate that. Very delicious, by the way. And they were very thankful that I scolded fans for yelling and screaming and whining like, bitches about them being green. So I do have these lovely, what do you call these, by the way? They're not spice drops.
They look like chuckles.
But they're not chuckles either.
No?
They're, what would you call these, Evan?
I don't know. Big green globs?
It's like a combination of a chuckle and a spice drop, and they're like green leaves. But they sent me a lot of green stuff, so I guess they're doubling down on their love of
because they know the deal.
Are they lime or mint?
They're not lime. I wish they were lime. I have a thing for lime. Like, a lot of people love lemonade. I'm more of a limeade guy. Love limeade.
Limeade? Yeah.
Oh, you ever have limeade?
Yeah,
Probably never had it.
It's not that good.
Oh, yeah, with the right amount of sugar in it, limeade is the way to go.
I think he's 11, by the way.
Real quick, I got Al Dukes on the line. Al wants to talk football?
What?
That's my guy right there. Al, what's going on?
Oh, hi there.
Oh,
hi.
I
I just got in the car taking my kids to school, and I heard Evan, not wanting Derek Carr, going, is he better than, goes to. Meanwhile, if I were to say to you, is Mark Sanchez better than Peyton Manning? Is Mark Sanchez better than Tom Brady? The answer would have been no, but he beat them.
Did they get to the Super Bowl?
No. But
okay, so then the argument goes away. I don't care that they beat Tom Brady once or Peyton Manning once. They didn't beat Manning in the AFC title game. They didn't beat Ben in the AFC title game, and then get to a Super Bowl. So while I understand where you're coming from, and I like this, a sports debate with Al Dukes.
Well, it's not a debate if he doesn't get to talk.
It just proves my point, though. They didn't get to where they wanted to go.
Yeah, but one team does every year. One team. So does everybody else suck?
No, it doesn't mean you
point.
suck, but you need an elite level quarterback to give yourself a shot year in and year out against these kinds of quarterbacks. And Derek Carr's not on that level. You're right about Sanchez and what they accomplished, but what they accomplished wasn't enough. They didn't get to the Super Bowl. And if they had a better quarterback out, they would have, in my opinion.
What do you have to say about
Viva
that?
la Derek Carr.
He's a Derek Carr guy.
Nice to know that Al and I are on the same page. We both want Derek Carr. Nice. Is that the most sports you've talked in the last 6 months?
Yeah, I had no rebuttal there for Evan. Sports knowledge.
Just Viva la Derek Carr and hang up, right?
Yes, that's when I was.
And by the way, thank you for your text this morning. It was very kind of you.
Yes, happy birthday to Chris.
It's funny because not everyone on the show has reached out to me yet. We'll see. Have to see how that goes.
On whose show? Our show or their show?
No, their show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw on TV you mentioned you were 38.
You did see that, yes. Nobody accepted as fact, though.
Okay, good.
Although it's funny, James Jones goes, I thought you were about 38. So I got him. All right, kiddo, be good, all right?
All right,
There you go. Al Duke's producer. Well, I shouldn't say producer. On his resume, the first thing you list is host of the 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. show.
Also,
the warm-up show.
Sports talk radio caller.
Yes, but I like it. Al in New Jersey is one of his roles. Al and Jerry, the warm-up show from 5 a to 6 a is another one of his roles. Producer of the Giannotti show is another one of his roles.
The Giannotti show?
Pardon me, Boomer and Gio. I apologize.
Wow.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. And there you go. And friend of mine. So there you have it. By the way, you think that's what they'll call it one day?
The Giannotti show?
Yeah, I think ultimately that's the future.
Probably. I think it depends who his new partner is when Boomer retires.
Let's say it's Tommy.
Yeah, the Giannotti
Do you
show.
go the Gio and Tommy show?
No, I think it's just the Giannotti show.
But, they didn't just call it the Boomer show.
No, I know, but
They did while I was gone until they officially found my replacement.
yeah.
But they didn't. But then they respectfully said Boomer and Gio.
Yeah, I don't think no offense, Tommy, I don't think they would give him his name. I think they'd stick with Gio.
It'd be up to him.
It'd be up to Gio?
Yeah.
So then what would Gio decide?
Well, I don't know him well enough to know.
I don't think he has a huge ego. Probably invite Tommy in.
So would he call it the Gio and Tommy show?
The Gio and Loogie show
Probably
on the fan.
Yeah, Gio and Loogie, because you're already going Gio, which is a nickname, and then my nickname's Loogie, so Gio and Loogie.
Gio and Loogie.
Gio Loogie.
Yeah. I always like the shows with made-up names. I love that.
Why didn't you include Big Mac? Why'd you go right to Loogie?
Because he's the first guy I see when I look up.
Interesting.
All right. You want it to be, well, he'll be doing the Yankee show. He can't do both.
And I'm like a morning show kind of guy, I think, right? No?
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have the sensibility and energy of a morning
Wait, so
guy.
you're saying that Big Mac doesn't have the energy and the sensibility of a morning show?
That's exactly what he's saying.
I didn't say that. You said that.
You figured that out all by yourself.
Wow. Okay.
He's saying Big Mac is more the vibe of a late afternoon jazz fest type of broadcast.
Right.
Hi, this is WJJZ 105.9 Jazz.
Just because I'm capable of it.
That's right.
That's the only thing I do.
Here's Bob Gottstoken with a wonderful melody. This is a wonderful. This goes back 1962, and we present to you now Breakfast with Big Mac. Something like that.
That could be a show right there. I can see it.
Oh, Dave Cos on the saxophone. Yeah, when I'm having brunch, I think of Dave Cos a lot. Let's hear Dave's latest, Bagels and Lox. Yo, you'd be good at that, though. You'd be good at that.
Suck it!